Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Lightning Collection Power Rangers in Space Psycho Blue Ranger. I'll probably still get questions about this, but this is a GameStop exclusive. They just started recently shipping them out from online orders, although the easiest way to get it is to cancel your pre-order and then reorder it because, you know, science. But they should start appearing in stores pretty soon, but, you know, unless you buy it secondhand, that's the way to get it. It's a GameStop exclusive, not one of those retailer exclusives like the Psycho Red pack or Green where it appears in multiple different stores, at least as of right now. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. Real quick, as always, we start with the box. Same awesome packaging. You have the nice art there on the side that continues on there, and then like a rendering of the figure on the back. I mean, nothing too special, but I always just like to draw attention to it because I think the packaging's cool. Okay, on to the main event, accessories. As you can see, he comes with his axe weapon. He also comes with a different effect part that Psycho Red did not have, which is pretty similar to some of the ones we've seen before, but which is kind of nice. But he also does come with the unlimited power hand that Red had, which can also duel as that hand when they were like stealing their memories. Like, this isn't how it went down. He didn't detach his hand and stole his memories for himself, but you remember that scene. So that's pretty cool. So you have that matches. You have a holding a weapon hand. The other one I have on him is a closed fist. Then you have another holding weapons hand for the other hand if you want to switch it. No closed fist for the other one, which kind of bothers me a little bit. I think I'm just conditioned from figure arts. So pretty par for the course. There is no alternative head, just like Psycho Red. I mean, Psycho Red's pack came with Leo's because there really isn't much they could have do. I'm such a good talker, guys. I think they should have, or would have been neat at least, for them to include the civilian heads. Did Psycho Blue have one? I know that Red, Black, and Yellow did, so maybe they felt like Blue and Pink would have been left out, but that would have been a cool touch. I forgot to mention that in Red's. But so check out this absolutely original pose of character holding his weapon over his shoulder that I'm embarrassed how many toys I currently have, will have, and had in this pose. Like, it's not practical. Like, I know he's wearing armor, but I would do this and be like, check out how cool I am. Oh my god, there goes my shoulder. I would totally cut it off. But so anyway, I don't know why I went on a rant about that. So it's basically the same figure as Psycho Red, except blue. It's the same sculpt and everything, just a different color, so there's not a whole lot to go over that's different. I still stand by my belief that the Lightning helmet is, well, this is Lightning helmet. Wow, guys, did it again. The Legacy helmet is more accurate. I'll get into that in a second. But I still think it's a decent sculpt. I feel the neck could be a little bit more present. I think the color's good. There's not as many paint mistakes on this one. I know a lot of people had problems with Reds having a lot of paint mistakes. Mine had a couple. Didn't really bother me a whole lot, but it was present. And I'm not saying yours won't have it. I'm not a scientist, a future scientist. What is that? Not a psychic. There we go, future scientist. Point is for this one, I didn't get it, which is kind of nice. You have basically the same sculpt here, and you have this chest armor. It's not really armor, it's like a soft plastic, but I think they did a really good job on that in terms of the details and the scale and whatnot. And like I said in the last review, I appreciate the details to make it look like it's a cloth suit, and it's not too overly muscly. I think it's an overall solid mold, and I'm pretty pleased with it, and I don't really have any problems from this part down. Again, my only problem is the helmet, which I'll get into again in a second. And then here you have the axe, which I think is pretty well done. I never even noticed the drill there. Like, it's on the Lightning or the Legacy toy as well, but I never really noticed it until now. But I think this is pretty well done. There's not a whole lot you can do to mess this up, to be honest. It's only a couple colors, but it's got a nice shine to it with the silver and stuff like that. Articulation, pretty par for the course. You have the all-around movement here, swiveling, single elbow joint, swiveling at the wrists, nice ball joint here on the legs. You have your knee joint here, which is really sticky. There we go. It's kind of like a double knee joint there. And this one's like clicky and sticky. That sounded weird. I didn't mean to say it like that. And then you have the nice joint here on the foot, and then you have the head and neck articulation. It's a little bit not hindered, but you can see that it'll start raising up when you get to the collar and stuff like that. Again, I wish it had a little bit more of a neck, but the same articulation as you're used to from any of the Lightning figures, as well as, of course, Reds. And I'm happy to report on this that I don't have any loose joint problems with that. But now to bring in the comparison, here is the Lightning figure. Dang it, why do I always do that? You know what? From now on Dawson World, this is a Lightning figure, and this is Legacy. Because when you get hit by lightning, you get bigger. That's science. Just to compare these two real quick, I do think this one looks a little bit better. They're pretty comparable, I mean, honestly. This one's a little bit more squished together, but I kind of like that this one's a little more spread out. It makes it look a little more like a flat, sharp blade, and I think that the little drill part here looks a little bit better, but it's not a huge deal. And you can see there's obviously a difference in height, difference in mold. This one does have that bit of a muscular structure. I mentioned in the Psycho Red review, though, it didn't ever bother me. I mean, to be honest, it didn't bother me as much in general as some people. Like, I didn't really care, but it didn't bother me as much on these guys because they were more armory, and I felt like I could hardly notice it. I'm not sure. I feel like his color's more accurate. Like, I almost feel like the accurate color is somewhere between the two, but I think this one looks a little bit more accurate color-wise in certain instances. But I guess it depends. I felt the opposite about Psycho Red. But here's the helmets. Like, I've seen it like almost split down the middle of what people think is more accurate. I don't think either one is perfect, and I think from certain angles, I've liked different ones. Like, depending on the angle, I like this one better or this one better. But I still stand by, personally, my belief that overall, this is the better helmet in terms of being more accurate. It's a little bit squished this way, and it's got a little bit of an egghead, you can see there, but I think the visor just looks more accurate. I described it as his angry eyes in the red review, and I believe that that is more accurate. Like, you know what it is? I've kind of figured it out what the real, I mean, I talked about the angry eyes in the last review, but really looking at some photos from the show and then looking at the side by side is that you can see on the helmets, if you look at photos, it has this distinct, what I'm going to call an eyebrow here, or like an eyelid right here, and you can see it on the actual helmet as well. The problem with this one is it goes down too much, and you see you create this nice rounded effect here, which gives it much more of a, like, an eye look, I guess you could say. And this just looks so squished. Want a gross example? It's like when you get those cuticles and you press them down. That's what it feels like. And I feel like I need to be doing this. Like, it's just pushed down too much where it doesn't give it enough visor real estate, and it makes it look like angry eyes. And like I said, from certain angles, they both look accurate or not accurate, but overall, I think this is a better representation with the visor when I look at it at the side. This is just too far pushed down. And I mentioned in the previous review that it looks more like the comic book one, like, because you'll get a little bit of a stylized look from the comic book renderings of him, which we've seen in the art for the upcoming Psychopath, and then as well, you know, for Psycho Green and stuff, which we've seen in the comics. But I still think it's a solid figure. Like, I'm happy with it. I don't have any huge problems with it, not as many paint mistakes, no loose joints. I just do think that the Legacy one has a little bit better of a helmet sculpt. But if you're into the Psycho Rangers and you want something in scale with your other Lightning figures, then I can definitely recommend checking this one out, even though I stand by the other helmet. Although if you want the other one, they're like all over my Walgreens. Like, when I've been going to Walgreens looking for Wave 2 of Lightning, that's like almost exclusively the leftover Legacy figure they have is Psycho Blue and a couple Dino Thunder Whites. But anyway, that's about it for this one. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to climb the steps and ring that bell to get the notifications from my videos. Till next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.